I have just watched a very disturbing video of a man who claims or identifies himself as a member of the UPND, threatening the former head of state, Mr. Edgar Lungu. And this guy says a lot of things in his video. He expresses himself as a person who's ready to do the job of killing him. He literally calls him names, and you know, he uses terminologies and language that is very unpalatable, especially for a Zambian citizen who is coming from a society where we believe in culture, in, you know, cultural norms, traditions, respect for elders, and all those things. I've got a message for the UPND party. There is this trend currently where you tend to ignore the messages that come from your own people when they are on the wrong side of the law. Whether it is them insulting people, whether it's them attacking people, you'll find that the Inspector General of Police under the current regime will never say anything to correct that person, or will never say anything with regard to whether it's reprimanding or even convicting such a one. What we will see is everyone will just ignore a person making such threats and such statements that are very alarming and have got the capability and propensity to cause anarchy in the nation, because that in itself is a very, very dangerous statement to make. And if we're going to allow this as a country, then we are headed in a very wrong direction. I call upon the leadership of the UPND, from the government itself, from the topmost positions, starting from the president, the ministers, and everyone else in the leadership of the government, and particularly the UPND party, to be very serious and very careful with how you are managing the affairs of this nation. Two wrongs don't make a right. We all know that the Patriotic Front messed up big time. We all know about the history of violence. We all know about the thuggery that was there. We know about some of the mistakes that were made or the wrongs that were done. But at the pace we are moving and the language that we are beginning to hear now, it then makes me wonder whether you are indeed the people that promised to do better, or the people that promised to fix the economy, or the people that promised that you are not going to do the things that others were doing. Because the language now that you are beginning to use is the same language that we used to hear back then. So if your cadres are going to speak the way those PF cadres used to speak, if they're going to be making threats the way others used to make threats, to a point where you're even talking about killing people, you're even saying it that you want to kill someone. Really, guys? Really? I am non-partisan. Personally, I am apolitical. I don't belong to any political party, but I will call a wrong a wrong. And it doesn't matter where it comes from, regardless of where it's coming from, whether it's coming from the UPND, from the PF, from any other party. A wrong is a wrong, and it must be condemned. This is not the way our country should function, really. If we have leaders in place, we need to see leadership that is fair and impartial. Even in the application of the law, there is no way that the police service would be claiming that, no, we are now better, we now respect the rule of law, or no, under the current government, we are making sure that we follow up on these things. And yet you see people making threats, you won't say anything. The IG is completely quiet. The police completely quiet, the president completely quiet, everybody is completely quiet about that. But when it comes from the opposite side of the divide, when it comes from other parties making such statements, we will see you moving quick, you will have the manpower, you will have the resources, and you will go ahead and you arrest people, you keep people behind bars, you even fly them to other provinces where you start to keep them. We see these things on social media. You will apply any law necessary to be able to make sure that such a person is brought to book. But when it's one of your own, these are the people you consider to be angels, and we will continue to see such things going on in our nation, and you think we are going to tolerate that? Personally, I am really, really disappointed. If you guys were not ready for leadership, you better let the nation know that you were not ready, because you won't take us back to those days. We know the reason that the nation decided to kick out the former party the former ruling party, those were the reasons. Violence or making threats against other citizens. And then you decide to do the exact same things, and you want us to continue appreciating you and praising you in the name of, oh, these are praise singers, praising the current ruling party because they are doing a good job, they fixed it, or they are, you know, they are respecting or upholding the rule of law. Where are you respecting and upholding the rule of law when all we are seeing is you ignoring, you know, the misdeeds and you know, the wrongs that are coming from your own people? No, guys, we need to do better. And I hope that the leadership of the UPND will take this message with all the seriousness it deserves. Thank you.